Reba here, welcome back to Gooseberry Homestead. So today I harvested my lemon verbena and it's about midsummer. We're getting close to midsummer. We're through the first week of July, and so I have harvested, and this is a little basket from the Dollar Tree, and I use it to dry my herbs in, and that way they don't lose their color. I've noticed that they tend to lose their color when I dehydrate them in my little Nesco, and so I've been using these little wire baskets to just allow them to naturally dehydrate, and then they keep most of the green color so that they actually look pretty in the jars. But I'll be using this throughout the year in probably soups and possibly using it for tea, but it's really great. So I have my lemon verbena for the summer all harvested now, and this is how my main plant is looking back here in the corner, and we still have the rest of the summer, you guys, for it to get more growth and do more growing. So I'm really excited about that. But you can see I just kind of haphazardly pruned it back down, and we got a lot of new growth down there, so it'll grow back in. But I'm doing this because I'm trying to propagate also, and this is the best time of the year to do the propagating because it's still warm enough that the cuttings can actually take root, and they've actually had time to become partially semi hardwood. So they're a little bit woody, and then they're also a little bit green. So the green parts do not root well at all. But if you got some of the woody, semi-hard cuttings, then they tend to root really quick and really easy. And that's why I love rooting lemon verbena. Now, I've done a video in the past kind of showing you how I rooted. This time I decided to go ahead and not be so greedy, and because I lost all of that because I was being greedy, you guys, and I cut everything into smaller bits to try to get more little plants. I ended up losing the majority of them, especially when my greenhouse blew over this year and I have them on that tray. I lost a lot of my starts. So I only have about maybe 5 of those plants available for sale this year. And so I said, you know, I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to give each one of these plants a really good root base. And I cut them about 5 to 6 inches in length instead of like cutting that in half and doing like 3-inch segments. So this is going to be the group of rooted lemon verbena, and I have a whole bunch of plants in here, and I'll be dividing it out later after they've set root. And maybe I'll bring you guys along for that video where I kind of depot it and take them out. But basically what you're wanting to do when you take your cuttings, just to like kind of like catch you guys up to speed, I just cut it off, and then I trim off the leaves, and then I just kind of I leave these little sections. Let me get down here on my knees so you guys can see. I leave these little nodes right here, and I cut like just below, about a ½ inch below those little nodes, and I try to get as many of those nodes in there, and then I would just pick off each of these, and I would leave those little nodes that are right in there. And then I try to leave a couple leaves at the top, just at the top, and the rest of it gets shoved down into the dirt. And lemon verbena roots very easily. So that's pretty much how I do it. And then as you can see, I leave about a ½ inch above also the top nodes from where I've done the cuttings, just because there's going to be die off down, you know, a certain amount on the plant, and you don't want to make the cut too close to the nodes because you could end up killing those nodes, and you want new growth to come from there. So I've got a few here. I didn't even count it because I decided this year I'm not going to be greedy, and I'm going to just do what I can because I did my harvest and now I'm doing my cuttings with it. This is going to be what I will have for sale in the future. Probably this fall I will be putting these up in Etsy before the weather changes. They in my region are deciduous. They will lose all of their leaves, so when I ship them out, they may come to you without any leaves on it, but that does not mean that it's dead. I will always check the roots to make sure that there are healthy roots at the base And that's all you really need for in the wintertime for them to come back. In my region, I do like to keep them sheltered. I kept it in my greenhouse over winter. I'm wanting to say growing zone 8A, I think. And so we do get some temperatures down into the 20s and sometimes close to zero every now and then, but that doesn't last very long. So I do have a lot of the leaves that go away, and so they are susceptible to having some die off to some of the branches in my region. This year I'm going to try to bring them into the garage just to protect them a little bit more so that I have less die off. My garage does get kind of cold, but I think it stays around in the 40s, maybe 30s, so it won't get as cold in the house, in the garage, as it does out here in the greenhouse. And I will be moving the greenhouse up underneath the house so that it's protected from the snow, since I have the winter damage from last year. So that's how my main plant is looking now, and it's looking good. And then this will be, I trimmed off from my main plant, I trimmed off a big section right here. This whole middle part is all from the main plant over here. I'm rooting the entire bottom half. It's going to have a massive root section down underneath. It just branches out. It touches the bottom of the pot, actually. It's a good almost 6 to 7 inches. So I will have a lot of roots coming off of this, and then it should put up more growth from the bottom. And so this will be a keeper for my future plants for the garden, as well as those back there, and then this pot as well for making more cuttings in the future, because I have a lot of people who are wanting cuttings and rooted cuttings and that sort of thing. So that is the plan. Rooted cuttings, I'll probably ship them during the winter months. If I'm shipping during the winter months, I'll definitely have to like bubble wrap them and that sort of thing. Just kind of make sure that they're insulated a little bit to help protect from cold weather and that sort of thing. Prefer to ship in the early spring or into the late part of the late part of fall. That is what I'm thinking. And then during the harsher months, take them out of my Etsy shop and not have them listed for a little bit. But I will only have a few to offer. So if you guys are wanting any of those, just let me know. I have at least 2 people who are interested in some of the starts. And so I want to get them rooted, and then they won't come in like a big pot or anything like that when you get them. So, but I will take pictures and that sort of thing when I get ready to ship. Before I ship out, I always like to take pictures to let the customer know exactly how it's being shipped. And I use a technique so that the plant doesn't move up and down inside of the pot. But anyways, I just wanted to share with you guys what I did today. And I got my harvest all done. And now I'm just letting everything root for the future sales and that sort of thing. And then the other day I took some other cuttings from like the elderberries, and we'll see if these root. And I got my greenhouse is completely full again. It had about a month where it didn't have anything in it. So I'll keep you guys updated on all the progress. And I'm going to take my little basket now and go into the house because it's starting to rain. But you guys, thanks for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and click that bell button. And as always, have a wonderful day, and God bless. Bye.